Hi, my name is Jay Oza, and I help people win when they have to give a high stakes speech. By high stakes, I mean you're either going to win or lose. Simple as that. To explain this better, I'll use a sports analogy football. You would agree that it is hard to make it to the Super Bowl. But you know what? Very few people even remember who finishes second a week later. Similarly, it is not enough to put yourself in a high stakes situation. You have to perform and win because you have to assume that you may not get a second chance. Now, when it comes to high stakes speech, what am I talking about? It could be anything. It could be a speech that you're giving in front of a large audience. It could be a job interview. It could be a conversation, social or business related. Or it could be an event like a wedding. Let me give you three examples. The first one has to do with a person. He had to give a technical speech in front of managers, senior managers. I coached him. Afterward, the feedback he received was that he did an excellent job. Now, this was high stakes in a different way. It wasn't a situation where he gave the speech and he got promoted. This particular person is in an early stage in his career. And he put himself in a position of giving this speech on a project management topic in front of a large audience. He put himself in a position to be viewed as a future leader. If he doesn't do a good job, he may not get a second chance to give that type of a presentation. Not only he positioned himself as a future leader, but it gave him immense confidence that he can do it. Second example, I coached a woman in her early 50s when she had a job interview. I coached her twice. Once when she had to meet with executives, and second after they liked her, coached her the conversation she was going to have with the CEO around compensation negotiation. I think because she worked with me, she got an excellent compensation package. The third example has to do with a wedding speech. A client came to me kind of in a distress. He had to give a speech at his friend's wedding, at a lavish wedding. I think his friend had spent over $1 million. And he was asked to give one of the speeches. And this client was panicking for a number of reasons. The three of them being, he didn't want to embarrass himself, he didn't want to embarrass his friend, and he did not want his speech all over YouTube that people could take a look at and embarrass his family and his friends and colleagues, perhaps. This one was difficult. I only had a weekend to work with him, but it worked out. When he gave his speech, it was really well received. But what made it better was that it was compared with another person who was a very successful entrepreneur. He had just sold his company for over $100 million, and he did not do a good job. That made my client's speech look that much better. Coaching makes a difference. what I see is people do one of two things when it comes to giving a speech. One, they wing it. They don't talk to anybody. They may practice a little bit here, a little bit there, and they'll just give it. Usually this ends in a disaster. The second is better, but not that much better. They ask their friends or colleagues to give them some feedback. First, they may get feedback that's not that useful. Second, to put it bluntly, they're not going to get a feedback saying that your speech sucks. Let me tell you, if you have a high stakes speech to give, get a coach, whether it's me or someone else. You do not, I repeat, you do not want to give a high stakes speech without some coaching. It is the best investment you will ever make. If you got this far, here's my offer to you. I would like you to record a 3-minute video of your speech or part of a speech. 3 minutes, just make it 3 minutes. 3 minutes is all I need to determine whether you're on the right track or not. And I will give you a feedback. Afterwards, if you'd like to set up an in-depth call, let's say 30 minutes, I'll give you detailed feedback. And after that, if we both decide that doesn't make sense for us to work together, then I will have learned from coaching you, and you will have received at least close to $500 worth of free coaching. So you have nothing to lose. Look, I look forward to hearing from you, and good luck.